All right. Hello, everyone. I'm excited to be here. Do these once every 2 weeks. But today, is a little different. The reason today is different is because we're talking about a specific topic rather than just running through everything that I've done past, couple weeks or whatever that I normally do on these live streams. But the big thing and the big reason that I'm doing this is because I've had some conversations. I've talked to some people. I have learned a lot of stuff in the past few months, and I really want to share it. And that's kind of where we're at right now, as far as my experience with cryptocurrency and my journey through personal finance in general, because it's been a fun one. I've enjoyed it so far, but I want to kind of chat about it a little bit here because I think this has the potential to be revolutionary. And I don't say that lightly, and I don't say that like I know what the fuck I'm talking about. It's really something special, and we're not going to dive super deep into it because I don't know everything, like I've said. But I do want to chat about it because I know at minimum the basics and the essentials, probably a little bit more than I am leading on. But like I said, I don't want to go super deep because that's not the point of this. The point of this is if you're somebody that has some money and you've invested in whatever, and let me say before I do anything, before I get sued, I am not a financial advisor. Okay, I never have been. I don't have any intention on being one. I don't manage other people's money. I only manage my own, and so I can't manage yours. And I'm not telling you what to do. I'm simply a guy on the internet with a camera and a microphone and a large monitor, and that's all we got. So the reason that I want to make this, though, very impromptu cryptocurrency quick start guide, is a couple reasons. We can dive into it here on the screen. The first thing is I've been asked by a couple people. I have shared the fact that I am involved in cryptocurrency, and I just so happen to be somewhat of a content creator here and there on different social media platforms. Obviously, as well as, basically revolving around the businesses and stuff like that. And this is one of my passions was, like I said, traditional finance before, and now it's kind of moved into crypto heavily. I can kind of go over sort of how the portfolio has shifted as we go through this. But I've been asked by a couple people, and mainly it's people that are in that same boat. They're normally used to traditional stocks, mutual funds, IPOs, like these companies and things like that. But they're hearing stuff now. They're starting to hear, you've heard about Bitcoin for, a decade or whatever, more so in the last 3-4 years. And now they're starting to hear murmurings about, what is this? What is Bitcoin? What is Dogecoin? What is Ethereum? Like, what are these different cryptocurrencies? Why are they going up so much? Why are they making such ridiculous gains and all that? And there's a lot of reasons for that. Again, I don't know them all. If I could speculate, I would just basically say the U.S. economy is kind of crumbling. We're just printing money like no other, which is not good. Politics aside, I don't really know how just creating like an abundance of, extra U.S. dollars is really a good thing, just endlessly like that. But that's, again, not what this video is about. It's only part of that. And again, we could list those reasons all day why cryptocurrency is starting to skyrocket. But make no mistake, though, I think this question, before we even get any deeper, I think needs to be answered. And I'm not the person to answer it 100%, but I can tell you something very factual and very to the point. I'll show you a website here in a little bit when we talk about some of the resources and stuff, but I'm going to give you the figure now. The market cap of the entire cryptocurrency market is over 2 trillion, moving towards 2.5. I think it was 2.4 sometime today. So the point of that is there's some money in this market. It's not like, it's a couple guys and, in their basement telling other people to get into it and stuff like that. Like, there's some money in them. The market cap of gold, I'm pretty sure, is 11 trillion. So there are other figures out there that cryptocurrency, the market as a whole, and then even like Bitcoin, for instance, I think is 1 trillion of that roughly. They're coming for it, and more money is pouring in. Like people aren't really getting out. The only way you get out is if like you get in, you don't know what the fuck you're doing, and then you get burned, and you're like, fuck this, I don't have any more money. So that I think sums that up pretty decently. So again, that's one of the reasons I've been asked by a few people. People are just kind of like skeptical, and they don't understand what's going on. They don't understand how to get in. And a bigger thing, and this parlays perfectly into reason B here on the screen, is that people are, because they're coming from this traditional finance mindset, they are applying traditional finance principles into cryptocurrency. And I don't really think that is exactly how this is intended to work. Of course, maybe that will be an option, but I'm going to show you some couple things, and maybe I'll just jump into it here real quickly. That's not really kind of how you want to run this. I thought of it. I considered it. I've looked into it a little bit. Not really for me personally, but for the people that I am kind of just, these couple people that I'm kind of talking to, and just, in general, anybody that I give not financial advice, but just, educate, try to educate people on and explain my experience with cryptocurrency. Let me give you an example. If you want to trade Tesla stock, you might go to Robinhood, you might go to Fidelity, you might go to TD Ameritrade, you open an account, you do it there. Well, the trouble is, or there's that option, or you take it one step further and you're not trading your own stuff. You're having like somebody manage your funds for you or manage your stock portfolio for you, such as like a financial advisor. Now, I don't know anything about financial advisors to give you my, somewhat biased opinion on it. I feel like I'm fine being my own financial advisor, and I'm cheaper than an actual financial advisor because it's my money and I'm not going to charge myself to manage my own money. But I understand if you don't have time, you don't want to do it. But in the crypto world, it's a little tough. I'm going to say I don't really think that it actually really works that well, because there's a lot of differences. I've seen at least one example, and I can bring it up here because it might be a good time to do so. But it's just a different game. So this is the one that I've seen here. I'm not affiliated with this place, but I've heard there's a couple people in some groups that I'm in, and they say that they use them. It's your personal cryptocurrency brokerage firm. Here's the thing. I have nothing against these guys. I think they are probably fine. They don't seem like, from what I've heard, people that use them, they're not scammy. They're nothing like that. They seem on the up and up. But the trouble that I have with this idea of this, and I'll even drop this in the chat, I guess. I mean, I wouldn't recommend this, but I'll drop it in there just so you guys can see, is, it seems like you just give them your money, like you give them USD, you tell them what they want, or they'll talk to you or whatever, they'll consult with you, and then they'll buy and hold the crypto for you. So in theory, that seems like, okay, if you don't have a lot of time to invest, or you don't have this, that, or the other thing, you don't have the time to try to find good trades and do all these different things, or you don't have time to find coins, and you don't have time to hold your own stuff and manage it, makes sense in a certain way. Maybe why you'd have a financial advisor, right? In the traditional sense. But here's the problem. A lot of people, specifically the people that I've talked to so far that are using this service. What up, Lucas? How you doing, man? Appreciate you stopping by. We're just talking about some crypto. And specifically, right now, this financial advising firm, and I know a couple people that use this place. And the thing that I want to drive home here is that the cryptocurrency space in general, if you're interested in cryptocurrency, you're probably going to get more interested in cryptocurrency, it seems like, because you're going to see all these other altcoins and all these different opportunities to make money, which I can, I'll bring up the whole thing here. And you have all of this like endless knowledge that you can just continue to move into. So I'll give you the exact example. I'm not going to give names or anything. I don't actually even know these people personally, but like I said, they're in groups. They use this, and this is no snark on them either. I mean, if it works for you, it works for you. I'm just saying for me, I can't wrap my head around how this works logically. They give money to this cryptocurrency investment firm. I'm assuming they buy the currency on their behalf, they consult, they do all that sort of stuff. The individual, the client, pays a fee to this firm, like I think it's like 3%, and then you get your crypto or whatever. But I'm not sure if you actually hold it or they hold it for you or however the fuck that works. But the point is that it doesn't need to be like that. You don't need to be paying those fees. It's really not that hard to just throw your cryptocurrency on a little, hardware wallet thing here, okay? Or just hold it somewhere else in like an online, like a soft wallet type thing or whatever. We talk about some of this stuff. Again, not an expert, but I have learned a lot. So again, the point is, and to get back to what I was talking about here, did you touch on hardware wallets yet? Not sure what I should go with. So I can jump to that real quick. This guy right here, perfect timing actually. This is the Ledger Nano X. I've heard good things about, it's got the full little screen there or whatever. I've heard good things about the both Ledger and Trezor, I think. I went with the X over the S because it had like more, storage or whatever. It had more apps that you could put on and everything. And I would say that's a pretty good decision. It seems like just, like the newer-ish model, and I don't know what the price difference is, maybe a $50 or something like that. But I'm happy with it so far. The interface is nice on mobile and on desktop. I've heard also good things about Trezor, but I don't have it, and I don't really see a reason for it entirely because, at least for me right now, because I can pretty much do everything that I can hold all the coins that I want to, like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Polkadot, Cosmos. The list goes on, and we can kind of look at some more of the list. But I would say that from my experience so far, highly recommend Ledger Nano X. It's solid. But again, I'm not a hardware wallet expert, but it does the job. And at the end of the day, too, I think most of them will do the job. And what I mean by that is, it's like as long. Okay, so let me touch on this because it's important. With hardware wallets, they are the big staples that I've heard, right? I don't know, just extreme important things. One, somebody said don't order from Amazon, and order like from Trezor or Ledger like directly. That is probably a better bet. I ordered mine off Amazon, and I don't think it's messed up. Like, I don't think it's scammy in any way. I don't think there's, malware loaded on it. I don't think that. I think it was genuine. It came right from them. I also don't fuck around when I'm on Amazon. Like, I go to the actual listing from the Ledger, says sold by Ledger or whatever, and it looks legit and all that sort of stuff. And you inspect the packaging when it comes, obviously, because I have heard that. I have heard that people buy stuff on Amazon and it comes and it has like, only like half the packaging or whatever. It's like half like resealed or whatever. And because that's a real thing. People will buy those things and they'll resell them, and they'll have malware on them or whatever, this, that, or the other thing. And people will get their shit stolen. That is a very real thing. That being said, though, I think a little bit of it is like, fearism, fear mongering, and all that sort of stuff. Because as long as you're like diligent with your purchase, and I'm not gonna guarantee anything, but like I said, I bought it off Amazon, and I think mine's just fine. That being said, if you're trying to like sort through all the random filters on Amazon and find like one that's cheaper for some reason, yeah, you're probably gonna get fucked. So be careful on that. Maybe just order from the straight up site, Ledger, Trezor, whatever you want. So that's the first big thing that I heard about hardware wallets. The other big thing, though, that I've at least seen in my experience is the easiest way to deal with cryptocurrency is to just buy it off of an exchange, and we'll go through some of them, like Coinbase, Binance US, if you're here in the US, Kraken, Voyager. You buy it off the exchange, you get it, and immediately, if you can, which the one trouble with Ledger that I've seen so far is some coins aren't like they're not supported, meaning that you can get them on there, but you're not going to see it in the whole portfolio overview and stuff like that. Like, it's just not fully integrated yet. But assuming that it is like one of the bigger ones that you probably start out with, like Bitcoin, Ethereum, stuff like that, what you'll want to do if you're not going to be actively trading it, the big thing, and this is kind of getting into like the second step, but it's still important, is like the big thing that you'll want to do is you'll want to get that cryptocurrency off that exchange. Because when it's sitting on Coinbase or sitting on Binance US or this, that, or the other exchange, you don't really own it. Like, I mean, if you own it, it's under your account and everything, but until you take it off and you hold the private keys to that cryptocurrency, it's always going to be on the blockchain, but it's like who owns it, like specifically what private keys can access it. That's why you hear these people, they had these wallets on computers, right? Back in the day. And they threw the computer in the trash or broke or whatever, and they didn't have the seed. Like, there's a special seed phrase for each wallet, no matter if it's a hot wallet or a cold storage wallet or whatever. And they had these seed phrases and they lost them or whatever, and they're just gone now. They can't access the wallet, and the laptop is in a landfill or this, that, or the other thing. So they're effed. They're fucked. But the point that I'm trying to make with that is that it gets convoluted very fast. I will tell you that. When you buy something on an exchange like Coinbase, like some Bitcoin, let's say, if you ever want to sell that, like if you're going to sell it like soon, then you're probably just not going to take it off. Like I like the first thing that I heard as soon as I started to understand cryptocurrency is like, oh, you got to get a hardware wallet and you got to take the shit off the exchange. And then I started digging in and I'm like, people don't fucking take this shit off the exchange right away. It's like they want to keep it on there so when they're ready to sell like an altcoin, like, one of these, lower end coins or whatever, that are pumping here and there, they want to leave it on. They want to buy it low and sell it high, obviously. So you're not going to take it off and put it in cold storage. Like, it's a way to protect your stuff. It's the use case is like if you have money on Coinbase, let's say some Bitcoin on Coinbase for some reason. And let's say for some reason you want to use that Bitcoin to buy something or this, that, or the other thing, and Coinbase goes down, then you have no way to access your money, right? If something happens to the exchange, then, it gets hacked or whatever, their security isn't good and something happens and your crypto is sitting on there and Coinbase has, it's in a Coinbase wallet address, a public, address on their servers, and they hold the private keys, and that's the private key to get in there, then you're fucked. I've never had that happen to me, thank God, yet. Hopefully nobody really ever has, but that is the concern. So, long story short, and to kind of like, sum up this whole hardware wallet experience, at least from what I understand, big thing to realize is that your cryptocurrency is not actually on this thing. That's not how it works. It looks like a little USB drive, but you don't actually put crypto on here. I mean, you plug it into your computer and you put in a little passcode, and like I said, you have that seed phrase, which you should never tell anybody ever. You should write it down and put it in a safe or something. Don't ever put it online. I mean, again, that's like bulletproof stuff there. Like, just don't write it anywhere. But the point is, don't back it up anywhere. Don't just put it on a piece of paper and put it somewhere safe, and maybe make multiple copies or whatever. But the whole point is, you don't actually have the crypto on here. You just have the keys to the crypto. The crypto never leaves like the blockchain. Like, like that's what it is. It doesn't. I mean, again, maybe like you burn, like there's shit like they burn coins, so it's like now there's only so many and things. We're not getting into that, but to simplify, there's 21 million, right? I think 21 million bitcoins, like singular bitcoins in a sense. Obviously, you can break those down in fractional, but there's 21 million bitcoins that will ever be in existence, and they haven't all been mined yet, but that's like the whole supply. Those are never going to go anywhere, like unless they get burned or whatever, or they're lost or whatever. Like, it's on the blockchain. It's all like one thing, but your access to however much Bitcoin you own, that's like the private key that's stored on here. That's effectively what's happening when you pull that off, right? It's a shitty way to say it, but that's what it is. So, as far as, again, the hardware wallets are concerned, it's a big deal in my opinion. What's up, man? Traditional finance. Hang on a second. I don't get it. I understand stocks like nobody's business, but crypto is like a foreign language. You know what? Listen, I was in your same position. I know very well. And I respect the fuck out of you because I feel the same way about options. I still don't fucking understand options, and you understand them like the back of your hand. So I could do my best to explain this, but I feel like maybe this is one of those things where it's like I will never understand options, and you'll have a hard time, understanding the cryptocurrency thing. Honestly, I'll take a break here for a second. I'd say I absolutely love cryptocurrency. Now, I don't love it in the same way other people love it. Like, I'm not trying to dig through. There's like 10,000 cryptos or so, and I think more all the time. I think, I don't know how many the big ones are, but, they just keep growing. And it's like, I'm not trying to sift through everyone and look at like all sorts of different research and stuff, but the whole concept behind everything is really like awesome to me. And I've really enjoyed it. I've met a lot of good people so far. Obviously seen a lot of good information stuff, but, I just like this blend of finance and technology. And more than anything, I'll tell you what. And this is specifically kind of the theme of everything that I wanted to share here. I like being my own fucking bank. That's really what. If you think about cryptocurrency and you had to sum it up, it's be your own fucking bank. Like, I like knowing that this fucking thing that I control with my, your passcode, seed phrase, like all that other shit. And like, I'm in control of my shit. Like, it's not scary to me. And that's what I was trying to sum up to with the brokerage services. Is like, I know these people and they're fucking around with these little shit coins, which again, this is deeper, but basically if you want to buy Bitcoin, okay, it's very simple. You can make a Coinbase account, you buy Bitcoin, you have it on Coinbase. If you want to put it on a hardware wallet, put it on a hardware wallet. I was going to walk through that here so we can do that. But to finish this point, if you want to do that, that's easy. But there is like a whole nother section, which once you get the fuck into this, you're like, what am I doing? Like, you can take Ethereum and you can go on these sites and you can swap Ethereum for these other coins that are like really low market caps, meaning there's just not enough like coins, and they're not like on Coinbase. They're not on these big exchanges where you can just buy USD for them and everything. So that's an oversimplification. But the point is that I know these people, not personally, but through groups, that are doing all of that work, but then they're paying a fucking brokerage 3% to trade and hold Bitcoin. Dude, it takes 5 minutes to do yourself. I don't know why they do that. Again, no criticism of them. I just can't wrap my head around it, because literally the only reason I could think is that you don't want to control your own money. And I fucking love that. I never wanted to have a financial advisor. I never want to, because not that I don't necessarily see the value, but I just feel that I'm going to do a better job. Like, who the fuck is going to care about your money more than you? Like, I don't get it. So that's the part that I don't get. But again, back to that. So crypto, I understand it's foreign language. It was foreign to me too. But I don't know. I started to pick it up, and you just learn. Again, though, options though, fuck options. I can't get options whatsoever. So we're one and the same on that. These are awesome tips. Looking like I'm picking up a Ledger Nano X ASAP. I appreciate the kudos there, man. I mean, I'm happy I can help. I just think it's solid, like I said, all the way around. I haven't had any issues with it. The only thing I've really ever heard from people is that scam bullshit, but as long as you get it from a reputable source, you should be good. Nice interface, nice apps, pretty straightforward. I actually did a video on that, the setup of everything of that, and I don't think I posted it. Maybe I'll post it soon. We'll see. But yeah, solid. Like keys and blockchain, sounding like I'm building a house. Yeah. I gotta tell you that I don't really understand every technical aspect of everything, but once you start to really piece it together, it does start to make a little more sense. And let me show you something too, because I think this is really important, because honestly, there are standard financial principles that I didn't start to understand until I learned cryptocurrency, until I started to get into cryptocurrency. So let me show you, like, for instance, like if we zoom in on this chart, and I'll drop this in here, because this is probably the best website in all of crypto. Maybe not the best, but it's one of the staples is CoinMarketCap here. So like I mentioned earlier, this top bar here, if you can see some of this, This top bar up here gives a lot of the stuff. So there's like almost 10,000 cryptos. I would venture to say there might be more than that, but that's like at least the ones that are, worth noting. All these different exchanges. This is the market cap. Like I was saying, it was around, it must have been around 2.4 earlier today, but regardless though, it fluctuates and it's around 2 trillion. So, did I say million? I don't know what I said, but it's trillion. Yeah, that's a lot of money. People are putting money into other things, and people are putting money into cryptocurrency, obviously, and it's growing. So there you go. And then you have all these other things, gas fees. We're not going to get into all that shit. But here's the thing. These are the cryptocurrencies, right? And the first one is Bitcoin, Ethereum, Binance Coin. Can go all the way down the chain. We can talk about all this stuff. The thing that I'm talking about is that I just feel that this is like almost easier to understand. I don't know why. But it's similar to the stock market, I guess, in a way, that they're like individual things and they go up and down, right? And they have market caps and they have volume and all that sort of stuff, which again, I don't really fully understand every technical aspect of all this stuff. But when you look at it, you got the current price, you have the 24-hour change. So like Bitcoin is down 3.89% in the last 24 hours. It's up though 4.08% in the last 7 days. And then you have its market cap, right? Which we can kind of like, nicely see there. So market cap equals current price times circulating supply. So it's over 1 trillion. We have the volume, we have the circulating supply, like I said. And if you hover over this, you can see that it's 89% of the total circulating supply, meaning that there's 21 million total that will ever be in existence. That's the max number programmatically that can ever exist. And we have currently mined over 18 million. I'm not going to get into mining because I don't know enough about it, but that's kind of where we're at, right? So the point is that there's a couple staples, and again, I'm not a fucking economist, but the thing is that here's the one thing that signals why Bitcoin, at least one of the reasons why people say Bitcoin is so cool, okay? Let's compare the normal comparison, Bitcoin to gold. Gold is maybe scarce. Like nobody really knows. I heard Anthony Pompliano, I think that's how you say his last name. He was explaining like we don't know if gold is scarce. Like there could be more gold, like you never really know. But like we know for certain without a fact that there's only going to be 21 million Bitcoin ever. Like Bitcoins, singular Bitcoins that can be obviously, like I said, fractionally shared and all that sort of stuff. So 21 million of those. There's never going to be any more. And as long as people value Bitcoin as a currency, which obviously a lot of people do, why can't there be more Bitcoin? So this, like, I don't really know how to answer that question. We could probably Google that, but like the reason in general that there can't be is because each one of these things is kind of like ultimately like software, like a program. So you can't make more of it unless you change like the algorithm in which like the whole thing is based off of. And I don't think that you'd be able to do that like just like the reason that I think a lot of people don't understand this is because it's not like traditional, right? Like there's programs, there's algorithms behind all of it. And we don't even know who fucking made Bitcoin, like Satoshi Nakamoto, and we don't know who the hell that is. Which again, that, generally, traditionally, that would kind of be like, okay, that's a little weird. Like what, like that's kind of a red flag. But once you start to realize like a lot of this stuff in this industry, in this space is kind of like anonymous. It's some of it's pseudo anonymous, and I can get kind of more into that, but again, we're kind of treading on the place where I don't really want to talk about like shit that I don't really understand. But I'm gonna try to hit on this question: why can't there be more? I would say it's programmatically designed to not be, and why it is because that was the whole point of it. Like they wanted to build something that was inherently scarce, right? There was only ever going to be a certain amount, so you knew it'd kind of be like what gold could be right now if we could guarantee that there's no gold, there's no more gold. Like we knew that everybody that had gold had all of it. Like there's no more that could be found, discovered, like whatever the fuck. And then that it's absolutely scarce. So that's like the huge principle right there. There's two basic principles. It's scarcity and it's something else. I'm not 100% sure. But scarcity is obviously important. Like how do we assign something valuable? Well, if it's one of one, or if it's, one of 200 or 21 million, then it has some value to us because it's scarce generally, right? And then people obviously have to want it. They have to realize that there's some value to that. But I think that's kind of essentially the reason, right? It was created, I think, in 2009 or 2010, and it was right around that time where we had the big fucking crash. So I think really the whole point of it was kind of born out of instability of the world economy, which is basically the U.S. economy, by extension. Because I did learn, I did a great 4-hour podcast with a buddy that has taught me so much about this, Joe Terzak. He's got a great channel on YouTube, Viva La Coin, and puts out great content about this stuff. And he's just a wizard. He's not a fucking wizard. He's a wizard with all this stuff. But we talked about it, and he kind of gave me the lineage and everything of how things happen. We got off the gold standard, and then we started to get fucked because it wasn't backing anything. We became a fiat currency. And now I've just gotten this. Once I understood what a fiat currency was, I was like, what the fuck? I don't like that. I don't like the idea of holding a piece of paper in my hand and knowing that it's not backed by anything other than the U.S.'s reputation, which basically our reputation is a fucking $24 trillion debt clock. So that just didn't sit well with me. So then you say, well, Mark, now you're investing in imaginary currency. I don't really think it's imaginary. I mean, everything has, if you're going to say this is imaginary, then you could say other shit is imaginary. Even if you did go with that argument, $2 trillion would say otherwise. So I don't know what to tell you, but I have no real great answer for that question, other than I know that programmatically there cannot be more than 21 million. Not every crypto is like that. There's different things for each one. It's just different software programs and shit like that. But I know that it's just to build in scarcity because people wanted to know that there's not going to be any more. So that means that, nobody can just say money printer go brrr and then print more and deflate everybody's, I guess inflate everybody's fucking shit there and devalue everybody's money, which I tend to have a problem with. So it's deflationary, I guess. Maybe. Yeah. Deflationary. I don't know if they burn it. It's at least it doesn't move. Once it gets to 21 million, that's it. So that's kind of the best answer I can give. You really believe that? You really believe that once BTC is maxed out, they don't either find some way to make more or BTC2? BTC2 thing, no. I haven't really thought of that, but I don't think that will happen. Will they find a way to make more? I don't really think so. It's divisible all the way down to 8 decimal places, so you'll always be able to get some. People, I have seen, and this is where we get really fucked up because I absolutely don't do price predictions. But this is at 55,000 right now. I have heard that this is going to get to roughly 600,000. And the reason it's going to get to 600,000 is a basic calculation based on if Bitcoin becomes the new store of value, then it will replace gold, or at least match gold at its market cap. And gold's market cap is 11. So that's roughly, 11 times. So that's what people are banking on. And can you imagine how much fucking money you would have made if you were in this when it was way less? Because it hasn't been this high for very long, and I just missed the fucking boat on that. I got to tell you, I just got into cryptocurrency legitimately, I would say, in January, and just a little bit after it. It's still early, though. Okay, that's an important point. It's still very early. But as far as making more, I think if they actually needed to do that, here's the thing. It's basically a big network, right? So the way Bitcoin kind of works, again, might be a little off on the details here, but it's a big network of miners and people that are working the network in a sense, right? So when a transaction goes through, and there's actually a really good thing here that I just shared with some people today. This is a visualization of the Bitcoin blockchain on the right and the Ethereum blockchain on the left. Okay. And each one of these little South Park looking dudes here is a transaction. And the buses are blocks. So I'm going to probably do a bad job in explaining this. But you can kind of like putz around on here, and I'll drop this in here. You can putz around on here and kind of start to understand kind of what's going on. The transactions need to load up these blocks, and then the blocks get written to the blockchain. And this is, buses and, people in this sense, but you get the idea. So there's Ethereum gas fees and like, all that sort of stuff, like, transaction fees. I'm not fucking with that because I don't really understand what kind of messes with that and all that. But basically, once that happens, then they, that's all part of the program. That's all, programmatically, that's kind of how all that works and everything happens there. But it's kind of cool because it gives you a good idea of what exactly is kind of going on with Bitcoin and with Ethereum and, a couple other ones that they have here. But that's blockchain technology. Like that's the thing is this right here is, silly as this looks, that is the thing that this is all kind of just done. And the point I wanted to hit on, the way this is happening is nodes on the network, which is effectively like mining rigs, like people, like actual, rigs somewhere. They are mining to get like the next Bitcoin, I think. I don't actually know how that works. I think it's you solve a block and you get rewarded in Bitcoin is how you make more Bitcoin. And this is like solving a block, I'm pretty sure. Like you're getting the transactions, you're processing them, you're putting them through into the network, you're writing it to the blockchain or something along those lines, and then you get rewarded in Bitcoin. And that's generally how at least Bitcoin works. I'm sure other networks kind of work similarly, but that's the whole point. So last point about that is I'm pretty sure if you want to change anything, there's something called a scare, like, of people, a thing that people are afraid of is called a 51% attack. And that's because in order to change shit, or in order to change like a block or this, that, or the other thing, you need to have 51% of the network or greater, greater than 50% to change it, because that's, the majority of how to do something. So unless 50% of the network were to get corrupt in some way, I think it's pretty good, generally. Could be wrong. Might be things I'm missing. Not a genius. Where are we at there? But isn't behind Bitcoin the same form of paper currency? So are you saying what's backing Bitcoin? And like, is that the same as paper currency? Well, I would say crypto. Okay, so let's look at a couple things here. So let's think about this. Let's go back. At some point, we had a physical thing back in the dollar, right? It was gold, right? We had like a certain amount of dollar, a certain amount of gold per dollar or whatever the fuck. And then we didn't do that anymore. So we got fiat is money that's not based on anything. So we got to that point. Then after we got to that point, after we got to the point where we weren't based on gold, then we became that fiat currency, and we're just based on basically good faith, I guess. But I think at that time, or before that time or whatever, I'm pretty sure that every other currency in the world is like pegged like off of the US dollar. So it's like no other currency is like we weren't fiat. I think it was as the gold thing happened, like we were the only real currency that was backed by something, and everything else was backed off of us. And then we got off that shit, and then everything else was fucked too, obviously, because it wasn't backed by anything. So if I have $100 in cash, $100 bill, the only thing that says that that's worth like $100, $100 in the bill to goods is just like the faith in the U.S. government, which, is not too good when you look at something like this, which is $28 trillion in national debt, and we're just running that up, obviously, by the second. So when you see that sentiment, that doesn't seem good, because a lot of this debt is like owed to China and just other countries, and which let me throw this in here right now. There's actually a lot of other countries that are way more encouraging and accepting of cryptocurrency than we are, which is understandable in a way, like you can wrap your head around why, but is really bad. It's probably because we think we're still the superpower and we think that like our dollar means the most, but really it's obviously crumbling. And we don't want to give up on that, so we're not going to embrace the next thing. But that's like a big argument, is like, if we don't fucking jump on this cryptocurrency train soon, we're going to miss it. And I mean, I tend to agree with that. I mean, I feel like we're kind of moving that way. And to kind of wrap that up with that question is, you know, I think that I don't really like that is literally like the number one common critique is like, what is it backed by? I'm like, 20 or $2 trillion of people that believe in it. Like, I don't really know what to tell you. I just think that we're in a different place now, and I don't know if we're ever going to change. Meaning, I don't know if we're ever going to get back to something where we're just in a digital age. So I think something like this was inevitable. And I think much like everything else is moving to digital and physical stuff is kind of going by the wayside, I feel like this is the next thing. You know, it's open. It's completely transparent for the most part. You can see every single Bitcoin transaction that has ever transacted. You know, I just think I don't have a great answer for it. Like I said, that's the biggest thing, is like literally just look up things that say what is crypto backed by, or what is Bitcoin backed by, and I'm sure we get some great arguments. But to me, I don't think anything's backed by anything really, especially like the dollar. Like, so this just has a better sentiment to me, and seems like it has other principles at play that are like definite scarcity, you know, and just the store of value in that way. And then obviously there's people that are in it. So that's where we're at. That makes absolutely no sense to me. I don't remember what that was referring to, but I'm sure it was something that I said in there. You sell Bitcoin. Do I want to become famous? Buy followers? No, I'm good, thanks. You sell Bitcoin, you get cash, which is what you're saying you don't like having. Do I sell Bitcoin? Okay, so here's the thing. I'm not going to say never, but the general sentiment is never sell your Bitcoin, because it's like gold. It's like, why would you sell gold? I've never sold any Bitcoin, and I know a lot of people that don't ever plan on doing that, because it's like the store of value. And the one thing that I have to say too is Bitcoin is an anomaly in a sense. It was the pioneer of all this. It made it all possible. This wouldn't be here if it wasn't for it. But a big thing that people start to get messed up with, or at least you realize at some point when you get into this, is that Bitcoin is not actually really, when you think of cryptocurrency now, and if you're actually in it and you actually understand, you've been around it for a little bit, you start to realize that Bitcoin is not representative of cryptocurrency. It's not. Like, it doesn't do anything. It's just 21 million coins, and the value goes up because people think Bitcoin equals cryptocurrency, but that couldn't be further from the truth. Cryptocurrency actually is a shitty misnomer, I think, kind of, because these things aren't really cryptocurrencies. They're technologies, and they're projects is what a lot of people refer to them as, and they have many different things. Here's the thing. This is where I actually get a little pissed off, because I start to see a little bit of too much of similarities between cryptocurrency and the stock market when I start to dig into this more. And let me try to explain that, because that's a shitty way to explain. So for instance, like, there are each one of these cryptocurrencies, like I said, are projects. And when you get into some of them, especially the ones that are like, you know, down the list here that are coming up, and they have a purpose. Let me try to get like a good example. There is, all right, I'm going to just search it because I don't know where the hell it is. Now it's right here. Okay, so there's this one called Theta, right? This thing has pumped. everything's fucking pumped, obviously, but this one pumped a lot. What was I don't know, it was like literally pennies down here, and then it was like 13 up here, obviously, and this is in I don't know, like a year, less than a year, obviously. So, but the point actually is not the price. I mean, obviously Theta has done quite well. Anybody in the space knows that. But I was not a beneficiary of any of that. I was late to the party there as usual. But here's the thing. There's a website. Obviously, each one of these kind of like has their own project website and everything like that. Here's what I'm saying though. These are almost like companies. Like, I don't actually know how this part of this works, and I'd love to know more about it. So it says Theta's blockchain powered network, yada yada whatever. Like who are the founders, right? It has these simple questions here. Who are the founders? So there's founders of it, and then they have like more information, yada yada. And there's somewhere in here it probably says like uses. I know Theta is with like gaming and governance tasks, network accounts, Google, something like gaming, and then like video streaming, right? Video streaming is the big thing. This is where it gets confusing because like I've heard people like Google, right, and Sony, right, and Samsung, like they start to get into this stuff. So it's like, okay, wait a second. So in and of itself, cryptocurrency is supposed to be like decentralized, meaning there's no one central entity that messes with shit. No, that's like the big thing is like, traditional finance is very centralized. You have like a government, you have a bank, you have U.S. like a national bank, all that sort of stuff. So cryptocurrency isn't centralized in that regard, but I do start to get kind of confused when you start seeing these names like Google and stuff like that, like investing in it or backing it and all that. Because I'm like, what the fuck's going on, first of all? And then the second thing is like, okay, well, this place has like a website. So let's go to the website real quick. We're not going to dive too deep into this. But like they have a website, right? And you can get you can get the Theta wallet on here. You can purchase Theta. You can do all that sort of shit. But what kind of happens when the cryptocurrency starts to like become more of a company? Like this is where I'm very confused at. When you invest in Tesla, okay, you put money into Tesla at $500, and if the company does good, reports a profit, this, that, or the other thing, obviously there's more than that, then you make money. If the stock price goes up, you make money, and generally to make the stock price go up, like the company needs to grow, this, all that. How in the hell does Theta make money? Like I'm kind of confused about that part. Like, does Theta make money? Are they an actual company? Are they like for profit? Like, how does that work? That is confusing to me. I do not understand that. I need to find that out more. And that's one of the things is like Bitcoin. Like, I'm not even sure what the fuck Bitcoin is when it comes to that. But Theta like actually does something. And let me wrap this up again with that. Is Theta is doing something. They have Nano cryptocurrency token Theta. Developers say the project aims to shake up the video industry. So instead of making it like centralized and shit like that, you can make it like there's something called like Theta TV, and it's almost like Twitch, but it's completely like decentralized shit like that. There's stuff along those lines, right? And there's another one coming up called VRA, Veracity, similar to Theta, and it does something where it's like proof of view. They patented that. I'm getting in the weeds here, but the point of that is that they have a patent, and it basically says it's software. The project is software that runs over a YouTube video, and it can tell if you're a robot or a real person. And then from that, it can say, all right, show an ad or don't show an ad. That's an example. But that's a cryptocurrency. Like it's that what I just described there is this VRA, Veracity. Okay. And it's a cryptocurrency, right? It has all this stuff. But it's not a currency. Like it's a project. It's kind of like the fucking stock market. I can't fully wrap my head around this part of this. It's not like it's like there's tokens and there's coins. What is this? Is this a token or coin? It's a coin, right? There's a difference between tokens and coins that I don't fully understand. And there's all these other indicators, obviously, like market cap and everything like that, which that's, similar, obviously, to traditional finance. But at the end of the day, it's like, it's a coin solving a problem. And really that coin is just basically a program, software, algorithm, like all that sort of stuff with a purpose. And then that in turn somehow, the network that it's powered by, decentralization of that network, I don't know. It has value, and the value is assigned, I guess, by the price. Now, it is always decentralized. Like, it's a network. It's nodes. There's nodes on a network, computers, rigs, like whatever the fuck, however the fuck that works. So it's not like one singular place. It's not like Facebook, like with a bunch of fucking servers in a room or something that are all controlled by them. That's the point of the decentralization. It's just like that team. Like, there's a team, and sometimes the teams are anonymous. Sometimes the teams. But that's kind of the point of that there. So I don't know. It's very interesting. But that kind of is where that kind of goes. So anywho, we've kind of talked about a lot of stuff there with that. This is, like I said, CoinMarketCap, kind of the one-stop shop for all of the different coins. Fucking Dogecoin, man, killing me. 42 cents. That's crazy. But anyway, that's where we're at on that. Here's the thing. So I've kind of just basically gone through the first part of this stuff in an hour. So that's solid. But great questions. Really appreciate that, guys. Thank you so much. The last thing was I just like to learn, implement, and share is my mantra personally. I like to learn stuff. I like to do it in my life, implement it, and then share it with other people, findings, all that stuff. So that's awesome. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to run through the rest of this stuff because I think it's important. And if anybody out there is watching or watched on the rerun or whatever, wants to get in cryptocurrency, this is literally the easiest way to do it. You don't need to go to a fucking brokerage. You don't need to do anything crazy. You just do this shit. It's very simple. First thing is this website right here. This is my website, obviously. This is markjoesemansky.com/resources. I will put this in the chat here. This is actually just kind of redid some of this, so bear with me if some of it sucks. But this is my website, obviously, and it has a bunch of things that I use. There's different categories, and I'm going to, again, continue to modify this, so be patient with me. But at the bottom, there is finance, okay? And you have traditional, which you can take a look at those too. I still use most of these things and would swear by them in most cases. But crypto is taken over a big part of my life. It's taken over a large portion of my my portfolio. I would say 30 to 40% of it, and it's big. I'm having decent success. I mean, at minimum, the same amount of success that I was having with the brokerage account. So, I think the upside is way greater here as we move forward. So, because I believe it's still early. But anyway, these crypto things all the way down at the bottom here. Some of these are brokerages, or not. Sorry, no. Some of these are exchanges. Some of these are tools. Some of these are websites. This is a cool tool down here, Lolly. It's like Rakuten or Ebates, if you've ever heard of that. So basically, you shop online and you at certain stores, and you check it. Like to say, oh, okay, we're shopping at Steve Madden using Lolly, and then you get Bitcoin back. That's sick. Already did that. That's cool. Lunar Crush is like a social sentiment thing. So it kind of just like brings all the stuff together, like all the research on a coin together, and says like, okay, here's what we think of it and stuff like that. A lot of cool stuff. txstreet.com, we talked about that earlier. Unstoppable Domains is cool. It's blockchain domain service. You can buy a domain on the blockchain. It's uncensorable. You don't have to pay to renew it and stuff like that. It's cool. A lot of cool stuff here. Like I said, long story short though, and to cut to the chase, like literally the thing that I wanted to talk about specifically in all of this was, if you have never been in cryptocurrency before, but like you're starting to like be interested in it, and then if you listen to what I just said there and you're interested in it more and you want to get into something, like literally just dip your toe in the water, I'm going to give you the easiest, most direct way to do this. And if you're on this resources page, you could just click Coinbase here. Like if you click check it out here on Coinbase or Coinbase Pro, it'll take you to this link, but I'll also post it in the chat. I'm going to talk about this here in a second, but let me just grab this this link here and I'll post it in here. Oops, there we go. If you go to that link, then it will take you to which I need to fix that too because it didn't open an incognito tab. But anyway, it will take you to this right here. I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. Doing my best. Thank you. But if you click that link in the description, it will take you to this website right here, which is Coinbase, and specifically this is 100. You don't need to do this. Like don't I never anticipate or expect you to use the affiliate links, but I'm telling you this because I'm showing you this, and if you use this link and if you're gonna do what I'm saying here, then you'll receive $10 worth of free Bitcoin, as will I. So I greatly appreciate that. Again, though, if you don't want to do this, just go to Coinbase.com and press, get started or whatever. But the point is here, this is just kind of the easiest way to go about this, in my opinion. Coinbase is highly reputable. I'm pretty sure it's US based because they just IPO'd here, which I wouldn't necessarily recommend buying the stock per se. I don't really know enough about that right now, but I know that it was a little rocky to start off. But back to the crypto. This is the easiest way to do this. And the reason that I'm saying this again, to reiterate, is people are going to this place, like for instance, this Caleb and Brown place, and it's like a brokerage firm, but then they're getting into it anyway, and they're getting deep into it. And it's like, you don't need somebody to buy Bitcoin for you. You create an account, you put some USD in there, and you fucking press buy. Like, it's not hard. You should be careful, I guess, in a sense, that you don't screw anything up, but it's hard to screw up, especially if you're not moving anything. Once you start moving things and transferring things, you gotta be a little bit more careful, but it's still not rocket science. Trust me, I am not that smart. I just pay attention to what the fuck I'm doing, okay? So that's what I'd say. But anyway, let me walk through this for you and help you with this, because if you're interested in this, I think this is a good place to start, like I said, and I just don't want to see people fucking lose money when they don't have to. Okay, so there's the resources. Step 3, have some USD. This is important, okay? For the love of God, please do not buy crypto on Robinhood, okay? I have traded on Robinhood. I've went through the GME shit. I didn't really have any position in that, so I actually had a small position. I wasn't able to like sell it or whatever, or buy more or whatever on a certain day like I thought it was going to happen. We all know the story there. If you don't, just look at Reddit or whatever, Wall Street Bets. But Robinhood, single-handedly the best side tangent on Robinhood. I'm going to get to the point. Robinhood, single-handedly the best UI I've ever seen for trading. Best app, best thought process, best gamification that I've ever seen for trading in the stock market. All of that aside, like, I would still probably buy and sell stocks on there if I was messing with it, but I moved to a traditional brokerage and then ultimately moved to crypto anyway. But I would recommend, side note, like using like TD Ameritrade, Charles Schwab, Fidelity, whatever. But regardless, I don't give a shit if you trade stocks on Robinhood. I don't think that that's terrible. What you really need to realize is you should not trade crypto on Robinhood. I don't give a fuck. Like, there's no reason to, and I'm going to explain why. I kind of explained it already when we were talking about the hardware wallets and shit, but you should not trade on there. And the reason that you shouldn't trade on there is because if you go on Robinhood and you type in like Dogecoin, okay, you buy that cryptocurrency and it just stays in your account. They have no way to transfer it out, okay? If you wanted to buy it, they don't even know, like nobody even knows if Robinhood has enough Dogecoin to give to everyone. Think about all the people that have, through this whole Dogecoin shit, just think about how many times you've heard it, okay, in the last 2 months. They don't even know, nobody knows really, if Robinhood even has enough Dogecoin in their wallet. There's speculation they might be like the big holder of it, but nobody knows. Because they don't give the people the option to actually physically take ownership, like I was saying, of the Dogecoin. It's like you buy it, and you know how, like, here's an example. It's not a good example with stocks though, because you can't take a stock out. But if you buy $100 in Doge and it goes up to 1,000, all you can do is sell the Doge. You can't take the Doge and put it on like a hardware wallet or something like that to save if it continues to go up. Right? And then not only all of that, think about the volatility of the crypto market, and think about how Robinhood can't handle their shit when the stock market gets fucking volatile, and that's been around for a long time. So all of that being said, I would not buy crypto on Robinhood if you paid me to buy crypto on Robinhood, I mean, that's a little bit of a stretch. Maybe I would. But then I would sell it, obviously, right away. But anyway, don't buy crypto on Robinhood. Please just don't do it. Okay, look up other arguments too. Don't just take my advice. But I would seriously never, ever tell anybody to do that. Anybody that does, I cringe. The only thing you should use Robinhood for is to get the fucking free stocks and then sell them or something. I don't know. Just take the free money, but don't buy fucking crypto on there. Okay, now that we've gotten that out of the way, let's talk about how you should actually buy some crypto. Your first crypto, if you really want to get into this. All right. So create a Coinbase account. Like I said, you can use the link in the description. You can not use the link. I don't care. It doesn't matter. I appreciate it if you do, but absolutely not expected. Coinbase, regardless. Okay, somehow get to Coinbase. Like I said, $10. If you use that link, not expected. Get onto Coinbase, and literally, it doesn't matter if you use this link or if you don't use this link. It's going to be pretty simple. You're going to do first name, last name, email, password. I'm sure they're going to ask you for your driver's license, just like every other financial fucking platform is going to ask you. Okay, and this is a certified business, IPO'd in the stock market, which we all trade in already, so you shouldn't be worried about any of that shit. Everybody already knows your shit anyway, so it doesn't matter. But go through that process. I obviously can't sign up because I already have an account. But once you do, this is interesting, sign up as a business. I don't know what the hell that means. But aside from that, once you sign up, I'm sure it's simple. I did it a long time ago. But it's the same type of shit as you would do anywhere else. And then let me see if I can sign in so we can kind of get a better idea of what you're going to see once you are actually in there. And I will show you exactly kind of the interface and just like exactly how I would buy something. Okay, so we're on Coinbase now. We're logged in. Let me go back over here. Buy some crypto, like I said. So obviously I don't really have any money in here because Coinbase is actually one of my lesser used things now. And I will give you one more pro tip as we go through this. There's other brokerages, I keep saying brokerages now. There's other exchanges, crypto exchanges, like I said, and they're cool, right? But they all have kind of like different coins on them. So here's a quick overview of Coinbase. So you come into here. This is your portfolio balance. You can click on portfolio. You can see all the different coins that they have. Again, trying to just scratch the surface, so I don't want to go too crazy. I literally just want to kind of give a Bitcoin example just to keep this as straightforward as possible. If we go to prices, then it shows us basically what we saw kind of at CoinMarketCap, but it's a little different because these are only the coins that you can buy here on Coinbase. That's a big, important thing. That CoinMarketCap was the entire cryptocurrency market, and this is the biggest thing that's kind of like the most annoying shit in the world, is like generally if you want to buy, I don't know this for certain, but if you want to buy most stocks, I'm pretty sure you can buy them on any platform generally. Like maybe certain ones like Robinhood would say, no, you can't buy this on here or whatever. But when it comes to cryptocurrency, it's really not like that. There is the mother of all exchanges, and it's called Binance. But we in the US cannot access Binance for some fucking stupid regulatory reason. So, and it has a shit ton of currencies, crypto coins. But the counterpart, the whatever, is Binance US, and it's a little bit, it's fine. It's a little bit, I don't know if it's a little bit better than Coinbase as far as like number of coins and stuff like that, but it doesn't really matter. You can buy Bitcoin pretty much anywhere at this point, and Coinbase will work fine for you. So to basically explain this, you get on Coinbase, you make that account, you do what you got to do. You put a couple bucks in there, which honestly, I don't know. It's gonna run you through the main linking thing, whether it's Plaid, the Plaid interface, like however you link your stuff up, or you just deposit cash or whatever. Obviously not cash, but you get the point. You've probably put money into a thing before. I'm gonna assume that. So you do all that, and actually maybe we could go. Where is a good example? So like US dollar, for instance, and you could say deposit, and you can deposit like that. Okay, and you deposit the money in there. You wire transfer. You can online deposit. It's the same shit. Okay, it's very standard. So you do that, and then you come back over to prices, right? You come to Bitcoin, and you're like, okay, wow, okay, Bitcoin's $55,000. Okay, I really wish I would have bought when it was fucking $10,000 or $9,000. But anyway, we're here now, and it's probably going to continue to go up, right, long term. So, even though 50% is buying and 50% is selling, there's a whole nother thing there. Is like each one of these, the market is volatile, okay, but you can kind of see over time. Obviously, it's going up. The reason you have these spikes, these downward spikes, at least right now, is one of the big reasons is that big institutions are late to this party. What the fuck does that mean, Mark? That means like these people that are coming out and saying they want to buy Bitcoin or they are buying Bitcoin, like, JP Morgan, all these fucking people, they're like, hey guys, we are a little late to this shit. I wish we would have bought and taken this a little more seriously back in May of 2020. But regardless, here's what we're going to do. We're going to buy a bunch. And then what we're going to do is like when it's around 50, when it's around right here, right around 64,000, we're going to have like a bunch of it, and we're going to dump the shit out of it in like 5 minutes. Like this happens all the time. You got to follow some people that actually tweet about this a lot more. But we're going to dump the shit out of it in like literally 5 to 10 minutes. We're just going to sell all of our Bitcoin, so much so that it actually moves the market because of just the pure numbers, the sheer volume that they're moving. So they'll dump it, and then there'll be this big red candlestick. Okay, I could actually probably show this a little bit better over here on CoinMarketCap here. So like this right here, something like this. I don't know if this was like a perfect example. I don't know what really how much did we move here? I moved a fucking fuck ton. Yeah, okay, yeah. But this is a day. I don't know. The minute chart is literally where you really see it sometimes. Like it'll move like, well, I don't know. I don't know what the fuck I'm looking at here. Honestly, I'm not a chart wizard. But here's an idea. Okay, this went from 56.5 down to 55.3 in basically, what is this? Like 30 minutes. Like, when you see it on a minute chart, it's really ridiculous. Like every 5 minutes, the shit moves, and you'll see that from time to time. This is a huge sell-off. And here's the cool thing, is you could actually go back in the blockchain and you could see exactly what happened. You could see how much money moved, how much Bitcoin moved, and you can see where it moved from and where it moved to. Like you'd know the addresses. Like that's just how it works. Or you'd know you know all that information. So that's awesome in my opinion. Just because you understand what's happening. So this big thing is like a big sell-off, right? I'm speculating. I don't know this, but generally what I've kind of been told, what I've gathered, is this is a big institution saying, okay, listen guys, we have this at $57,000. We have some Bitcoin. If we sell this shit, if we sell a bunch of this shit and we move this price, maybe like from 57 to 56, there's a good chance, maybe from 57 to 56.5, right? Maybe this first one. If we dump a bunch of this and the price goes down, maybe these new little investors that don't know what the fuck they're doing, maybe they will get scared that the price is going down, and they'll get, paper hands, as we all love to say, and they will sell theirs. So then more people will sell, and more people will sell, and more people will sell, and a lot of selling pressure here, and then it'll come down more. And then this is literally what they do. So they had a position at 57. They sold a little bit, and then more people sold, and then they bought back in at 55. That's what happens. I'm sure that happens in the stock market. Okay? So that's kind of the point. That's the reason for the dips and all that stuff. I got sidetracked there, but that's generally what I hear and what I think a lot of people kind of believe there. So again, long story short, not a financial advisor, but high likelihood, I think, from what I've heard and all that sort of stuff, that this is just going to continue to go up and to the right. Okay? Long term, right? When in doubt, zoom out. All time. Okay, so here's the thing. There's things like called bull markets, bear markets. We're in a bull market right now. We don't know when the bear market's probably coming. Probably towards the end of this year, yada, yada. Nobody knows. I don't know how that works, though, because, there's a lot of this was the last one, and this is a little different this time. So it's a different game. I'm not going to tell the future. Here's what I am here to say. Again, I want to reiterate this. This is so damn simple. A monkey could do it. If you can trade stocks on Robinhood, you can buy cryptocurrency. You don't need to fuck with anything. And I think it's worth your time to at least dabble in. Don't make any investments you can't handle. Don't waste any money. Don't use money that you need for rent. Don't blow that on Dogecoin or anything. But I think it's worth it. But make your own decisions, make your own judgments. And if you come into Coinbase, like I said in here, you literally go over to buy, okay, and you type in however much money you want to buy. Let's say $100. I think you need to trade $100 to get that 10 if you use that link, by the way. So let's say $100, and then one-time purchase, buy Bitcoin, pay with whatever bank you have linked up or whatever. You preview the buy. I don't have enough money in here to do this, so I'm not going to do it. And it says, here's the price, here's the purchase, and here's the Coinbase fee. The reason you have to pay fees is just because, I don't know, Coinbase needs to make money, so that's what you pay. But I'm pretty sure there's transaction fees, not transaction fees on all stocks. Obviously, most of them are free now. But this is just kind of the thing. This is the price you have to pay. I will tell you a quick pro tip, like I said though, about this Coinbase fee in a second. But that's kind of the breakdown. And then you literally press buy now, and you have Bitcoin in your wallet. Now, one thing that I want to give you though, as a word of advice, if you're serious and you're going to do this right now, what I might say to do is make a Coinbase account, because you have to do that and everything like that. But also go to Coinbase Pro instead. All right. So this is Coinbase Pro. I don't know if there's a light mode. I don't know. It doesn't matter. This for some of you guys might look more like a traditional stock thing a little bit, because it's got, this is obviously the Pro variant. So if you're used to seeing shit like this is probably a little bit more exciting. But the reason that I use this is not because I know what the fuck's going on here, but more so because I have heard, and I guess I've experienced to some regard, the fees being cheaper. So let's just take a look here, and let's say I don't know if we can really do it, because I think you just place the buy order. I don't know what the difference is in fees. It's like, there we go. Perfect. Gives us the option here. It's very small. I will try to zoom in. You could probably see it here. There we go. Okay, so it doesn't matter. The chart's a little fucked up. Doesn't matter. Here's the point. This is Coinbase Pro, and this is Coinbase, right? When we were over here and we tried to buy $100 of Bitcoin, they're charging us like $3. But for some fucking reason, when we come over to Coinbase Pro and we try to buy $100 USD of Bitcoin here, it's 50 cents. Don't ask me why. I don't know. All I'm telling you is make a Coinbase account, because it's the same account, and then go to Coinbase Pro, pro.coinbase.com. I'll put it in the thing. And buy it on there, because it's cheaper. So that's what I would say. That's how I do it. If I have to buy on Coinbase, I'm going to buy on Coinbase Pro, because I like to save money. But, okay. So let's wrap this up. Let's try to bring this all back together here. So assuming you do all that, you just bought some Bitcoin on Coinbase or Coinbase Pro. Now, what do you do next? Well, you don't have to do anything. Your Bitcoin's probably gonna be safe. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. Yeah. Anything that I can do to help save people money. Assuming you get to that point, okay, assuming you buy that Bitcoin and you're ready to go there, I think it's really important I've kind of explained it, but this is important. Understand what you did, okay? Just like when you buy stocks or whatever, or like an option is probably a really good example. Like there's a whole thing after that. Like it's like, okay, are you gonna make money, lose money? Should you sell? Like whatever the fuck. I'm not an options wizard, obviously. But with this, understand what you did. Understand that you put USD in there. You bought Bitcoin, as just the example that we're using, and now you own your account. Your public wallet address owns Bitcoin and like holds Bitcoin, and that public wallet is associated with Coinbase. So let's actually do this. Let's do I'll try to explain it as good as I can here. I don't know which one the best is. I think it's probably this one. So like I'll put this in the thing, and this is what I was talking about earlier. Like everything is like traceable, seeable, and everything like that. Like you can literally watch every single transaction. You could sit here and watch every transaction if you wanted to. So we come over here and we say latest transactions. This is literally the last transaction that happened. Now this one on the Bitcoin blockchain, right? And then, like we said earlier, when each one of those little South Park figures here on the right fill up a bus, then it writes a block and all that sort of stuff. We're not going into that. But the point is, this is the latest transaction. Let's click on the latest transaction, shall we? Okay. So what this is basically telling us is that this, I've never actually really looked at this, so I kind of need to understand. The transaction is currently unconfirmed to the network. So this amount of Bitcoin, I don't know how much that is, but whatever. Oh, okay, so $156 of Bitcoin was sent. Okay, so it's like this amount of Bitcoin was sent, and the current value of the transaction is, you know, like a little bit less or whatever. And it was sent to, I guess it looks like, is this sent to two different fucking addresses, or is it sent to like a minor? I don't fucking know how this works. I don't know. It doesn't matter. But if you understand how to fucking read this thing, then you would understand that like this was the input. Like this is how much you know, money was put in or whatever. Can I explain this a little bit better? This is how much money, I guess this was sent. Like this was Bitcoin sent. Yeah. But I think there's two sides of like, you know, every like transaction basically. Obviously, so like somebody's sending you Bitcoin, right? So it's there's kind of a lot to wrap your head around. But the point is that you can see everything that's in here, right? So this was the input, this was the output, this was the fees for the transaction, yada yada, right? So so you can see all of that. And every single transaction, no matter what exchange, yada yada, anything that's on the Bitcoin network is going to be in there. Okay. So the reason that I say that, the reason that I bring that up, the reason that I show that block explorer there and everything, blockchain explorer, is because hopefully it starts to like make a little bit of sense as to what you're doing. There's all this shit on the blockchain, and you're moving around like from, you know, basically Coinbase to here, that, the other thing. When it goes into when the Bitcoin moves from like wherever it was, like whatever, you know, wallet it was in, a public address it was in, into yours, then you own that on here. So let's use Coinbase as an example, just the regular Coinbase. In your portfolio, if you scroll down to Bitcoin, okay, you can see overview, wallet, vault, whatever. And on here it says I sent some Bitcoin, I converted some Bitcoin, I received some Bitcoin, yada yada, whatever, transfer Bitcoin. Again, I don't do too much stuff specifically here on Coinbase. I've done a lot more on Coinbase Pro, but you can see some transactions, right? So if you can see like, so like we sent some Bitcoin. So I got Bitcoin in, like to my thing, right? Received some Bitcoin from this Coinbase referral thing, and it's like, okay, yada yada. And I got some Bitcoin into Coinbase, and then I wanted to send it. So this is like if you bought Bitcoin on an exchange and then wanted to send it to a hardware wallet, which is what I did here, then you send it, you take the Bitcoin, you press send, and you put in the to address, which is like the address of a wallet, which we're not going to get into that, but like that's like the address of like a hardware wallet. That's the price that the coin was at that point. It did the confirmations thing. That's like the bullshit to get it onto a completely confirmed it onto a bus or onto a block, right? And then this was the fee for that transaction. You can actually view this is going to take us to that same website we were on. This is it. This is right here. So this is that exact transaction when I sent my Bitcoin from Coinbase to my my hardware wallet, right? And you could do that to anything. Like you could send it to any address that you have to any wallet that you have the address for. You could send it. So that's kind of like, rough example there. But yeah. So that was kind of like shittily explained. The point that I'm trying to make here is when you have money, when you have Bitcoin, or you have any cryptocurrency on an exchange, it is not necessarily completely in your hands, right? Let me go over to this one that I have like a couple cents in. So right now I have 5 cents of this Tezos in my wallet here, just because I don't know, I have it somehow. So if I wanted to send all of it, right, just like this 5 or 6 cents, then I'd come in here and I'd press, send all or whatever. I'd put in my address. You don't need to have a note. I don't really know what that's for. It's just like internal or whatever. Obviously, you're paying in Tezos, and then you press continue, and there's going to be a little bit of a fee associated with it. If this works, I don't have an address in there, so I'm not going to do it. But you press continue. It says, okay, it's going to this address. It's how much you're sending, whatever the fee is, this, that, and the other thing, and then you press send, and it sends it. That part of this is really cool because that doesn't take, like, you don't have to fucking set up Venmo. You don't have to do all this other shit. Like, that's part of the thing. It's peer to peer. Like, it's directly to the address. So that is the cool thing. And again, the reason that I say that is because if you leave your stuff on the exchange, which again, there's reasons to do that if you're going to sell it or whatever, but if you're going to hold Bitcoin forever, you want to take it off the exchange, which is why I take all the Bitcoin and I put it on here. So I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just telling you, understand what you did. Understand what you did when you went in and you bought Bitcoin on an exchange, and then you have it on there and you're like, all right, well, what do I do next? Should I hold it on there? Like, am I going to sell it when it goes up? Okay, whatever. Then you could convert it back to USD or something else or whatever. That's an option. Or you can take it off and you can put it on something that you control. It doesn't have to be a hardware wallet either. It could be like a wallet that you have the passphrase for. Like, I think there's a Bitcoin wallet. Is there a Bitcoin wallet? I'm sure there's got to be, right? Bitcoin wallet. Bitcoin wallet. I don't fucking know. Maybe there's. I guess there's a Bitcoin wallet, but regardless, there's other wallets too. There's Trust Wallet. There's Coinbase Wallet. Just do something like that. Pull it off of there. Get a seed phrase onto another thing. Maybe I'll make another video on that or something like that. But there's tons of content out there. I'm just doing this because I need to say this shit because I have people that want to do this, and I am getting pretty passionate about this. But that's kind of the point. That's honestly kind of it. That was kind of long-winded because I'm sure that was like 2 hours long, an hour and a half. But that is really, honestly, I tried to make it as simple as possible, but also throwing in some like informative things that were kind of, I think, really pertinent. And that is, I think I covered a lot of the important things. Now again, it's totally up to you as to what you want to do. Like, if you want to buy on Coinbase, Coinbase Pro, there's a bunch of other ones, like I said, Binance US, Voyager, and each one, the coins available on each one does vary. But yeah, I mean, if you're interested in it, I would say go for it, play around. You'll probably make some money, honestly. I'm not going to guarantee that by any means, but like, at least right now, the market's going up. It has been today. Obviously, it's volatile, so if you're going to get into it, assume that you're going to lose money, and maybe you'll be pleasantly surprised. Like, I don't know what to say. But again, my take on it is cryptocurrency is not going anywhere. It's probably going to be the future, because I think we're going to have a lot of problems here with the US dollar at some point. Yes, it's a great question. Is your hardware wallet able to hold all types of cryptocurrencies? So I'm going to give you two things here. The first thing, let me get rid of some of this stuff here. Let me go here. I'm going to take you directly to where I have it, and then I'm going to show you some other stuff here. So I'm going to go to, this is my website, and then my gear. So these pictures are too damn big. I gotta make them smaller, compress them because they're large. But I have this My Gear page here on my website, which isn't, again, not fully complete. Don't judge me. But I have this everyday carry thing here, which actually I don't carry this thing every day, but I kind of lied about that. It's currently in that section. It is right down here. So it's the Ledger Nano X. I will drop this link here just so you can go to that. And then, yeah, so it's the Ledger Nano X, and then this is an affiliate link as well. And you can go on here and you can check that out. There's probably a better, thing on here. Yeah, no problem, man. Yeah, so this is gonna be a better situation, obviously, as far as like information wise, because this is the actual site. You could order from the site too. Like I said, I just do the Amazon affiliate stuff, but I didn't have any trouble with that. But this one, at least on the site, obviously is going to give you more information about it. And there's tons of reviews on this shit as well. I love this for a couple reasons. USB Type-C, fantastic, unbelievably awesome. I think the other one wasn't, so that was actually big reason I didn't get it. And then I don't know if there's like a list. If there's a list of all the things. The big thing here, though, is that somewhere on here it says how many it can do and how much storage it has. So, okay, so it says up to 100 applications. The other one is like, I want to say like 8 or something, like something really small. And I was like, oh, I don't know if I can use like just 8 of them. 27 coins. It's weird though, because I don't think it's actually 27 coins, because it, like, each one is a different size, like each little application. Regardless, I really like the X. If I was gonna pick one up, I'd pick up the X just because it's more expensive. But if you're interested in this, it's probably a better deal for you. Yeah, it's like double the price, but I don't know. I like mine. That's all I can say. But I would probably suggest the X. But it can hold all sorts of different stuff. I have right now on here, I could actually probably check it out. I have, if I can get this thing in here, I have Bitcoin. Let's see here. There we go. Yeah, I got Polkadot. So the apps that I have installed here are Polkadot, Solana, Ethereum, Bitcoin, Binance Chain, VeChain, Terra, Cosmos, Cardano, ADA, and I think that's it. And the reason I have all those on there is because those are my long-term holds, and that's not like everyone has. Not every one of those has something in it right now, because like I mentioned earlier, you can't really exactly mess with that. Like you like, what I mean is you can't, certain ones of those coins, they're not fully managed, being able to be managed on Ledger Live. Like, you could store them on here, but you can't see everything, and Ledger Live is like the software that goes along with this. So it's like, it's a little bit of a pain, because for instance, like Cardano, not able to be on there yet, like fully. So just little things like that. But honestly, it's one of the best, I would say. Again, there's Trezor as well. Maybe look into that. But I have no problems. I've had no real problems with this. It's been great. So exactly what I need there. What else? I can answer any more questions. I think generally, though, that's kind of it. If I can get this back to where it was. Oops. Now it's small. There we go. Okay. Let's see. Is there anything else? I'm getting kind of sleepy, honestly. Let's see here. We could talk about it a little bit. Normally I use these things, like I said, to go over the things that I did. I did actually a lot of shit this week. I kind of want to make sure that we hit all the cryptocurrency stuff though before and if I jump into that. I've done a lot of business consulting over the last week, and that's something that I'm going to try to lean into more so on this. I'm trying to think if there's any other like really good tips that I can give that's not like super crazy. I'm working on some like courses and stuff too. They're currently just like all free, and you can just mess around with this if you want. But I'm really working on this way to start a business one, because a lot of people just need help with that. And I've done it 5 times. So working on that. The personal finance strategy, honestly, that's going to change heavily, because there's a lot of good stuff in there, but I also want to change that up a little bit. Okay, so let's say now you have BTC. How do you buy altcoins? Okay, that's a great question. So I'm going to table the whole hardware wallet discussion, because that's the same thing. Like, it doesn't matter what it is. You could just, do Bitcoin or, anything else. Generally, if we go to a little bit of definition first, pretty much there's Bitcoin and then there's altcoins, like you said there. So there's basically only those real 2 classifications. I don't know if you could really call like Ethereum like not an altcoin. I think by definition it just kind of is. So really altcoins is, or I'll call it any other thing other than Bitcoin. Let's just leave it at that. So what do you do? Well, depending on what you want to buy, it could be the same, it could be different. For starters, let's just make it simple, and let's just go back to Coinbase, and let's say prices, and then really again, like if we X out Bitcoin, then any of these other ones are altcoins. So like Ethereum's an altcoin. Tether is actually a stable coin. It's always pegged to the US dollar. I haven't really gotten to stable coins yet. I haven't had a reason to do that because we're in a bull market, but I think in a bear market, you kind of maybe switch some shit to a stable coin just so so your value stays kind of the same. There's more to that. I don't know enough about that, so I'm not going to comment on it. But let's say you wanted to buy some Cardano, some ADA. Solid little project here, 131. It's going to rival Ethereum with everything that it can do. As it continues to get developed. So let's say you wanted to buy some of this. Well, it's the same exact thing. You go on here, you go on Coinbase Pro to save some money, you buy it, and then you're able to transfer it if you want, or you can just leave it, totally up to you. But yeah, so that's pretty simple as far as that goes. As long as something is on Coinbase, right? As long as one of these are one of the things that you want to buy. Like if there's a specific coin in mind that you want to buy, let me know, and I will try to help you with that. But if you wanted to buy any of these, then you can just purchase it right on here. And it's kind of the same thing. So like let's just real quickly actually. I think there's somewhere I could show you this actually. I could kind of show you the crypto portfolio that I kind of have. The numbers might be a little off though, because I use this app called CoinStats, and say if the altcoin that you want to purchase is not on Coinbase. Okay, good question. All right, so let's find one then. SafeMoon. Okay, got you. All right, so for SafeMoon. Here's exactly what I do. I'll tell you exactly what I do. If like I haven't purchased SafeMoon, I've heard of SafeMoon. I know there's a lot of hype around it. I'd be careful with it. I'd be careful with anyone that has a lot of hype around it, because generally what happens is people buy, and then if you buy close to the top and you think it's going to keep going, sometimes like it'll hit a peak and people start selling and then they'll all sell. So just be careful with it. But that doesn't mean that you shouldn't at least explore it. So here's exactly what I do. If I have one in mind, or I see something on or I hear something from somebody, a lot of, like I said, I get a lot of that shit. Go to coinmarketcap.com, I'll put it in there. Go to coinmarketcap.com. Type it in the search up here. So SafeMoon, right? Now we're on SafeMoon's thing. We can see the price. We can see all that sort of stuff. We can see the charts and all that sort of stuff. See, that's exactly what happened here, I'm sure. Like, it went up, and then everybody's like, all right, yeah, we've made a lot of money because we probably bought in down here or whatever. We're going to take some profits, and then a lot of people bought or sold off. So be careful. Do your own due diligence there. However, though, if you do want to buy something, like I said, CoinMarketCap, search it, and then you'll see it on here. You'll see all this stuff. And then if you scroll down right here to this market button, you'll be able to see where you can buy it. So this means like SafeMoon Market. So I'm not going to lie, some of these I don't know what the hell they are because I've never been on them. There's Gate.io, which I'm not sure exactly what the fuck that is. But I guess it's an exchange that you can log in, sign up for, and you can use. I'm assuming that's available in US because that's where I'm at, but I don't know. I don't know anything about Gate.io, so there's that. I do, however, I saw another thing here, and there's something called Pancake Swap. Okay, so what Pancake Swap effectively is it's a decentralized exchange. So we're getting into the weeds a little bit, but if other people are doing it, obviously, then it's doable. Pancake Swap is an exchange. It's a decentralized exchange that allows you to swap currencies that are specifically on the Binance Smart Chain. Now, you might have heard me talk about Binance before. Binance is the biggest exchange in the world, the best by many people's in many people's opinion, and it has a ton of cryptocurrencies, and they have their own like coin, right? So if we go back to CoinMarketCap here, you can see that Binance Coin is the third largest market cap. Okay, and basically Ethereum and Binance Coin are two that have smart contracts, are two coins that have like, I don't actually know if it's like Binance Coin or however the fuck it works, but the point is that there is a network that Binance has and Ethereum has, and Cardano is like the next one up, and like Polkadot is the same thing. All they're networks that have the key term is smart contracts. When you have a smart contract, that means that your shit actually does something. Not every single one, because there's other ones that like don't need to have smart contracts, but what smart contracts allow you to do is like allow people to build other coins off of your network. So there's a lot of coins that are built off of the Ethereum blockchain, like using the Ethereum blockchain. So I'm going to get back to SafeMoon, but I'm going to show you this first. So if we go to what's called Uni Swap, and I'll drop the link in here as well. Uni Swap is when you're swapping like ETH, like Ethereum, to another token that is built off of Ethereum, or other tokens maybe as well. But there's a lot of like they're called ERC20 tokens, or there's other things or whatever. But like, again, a lot of these tokens are built off of the Ethereum blockchain. So this is literally how you do this. I'll do this with SafeMoon too, but you come into a site like this, you connect a wallet that has Ethereum in it, and then you say, hey, I got a whole Ethereum, and I want to swap it over to Engine Coin or something. That's a shitty example because you buy that on Coinbase. Let's say you want to do Unfederal Reserve here. I own some of that. So then you say like, okay, I want to do 1 ETH to ERSDL. This is roughly how much you'll get. It's kind of just like, it's like swapping USD for a cryptocurrency, but instead you're trading ETH for another cryptocurrency. So there's no USD really involved in this. And like I said, you connect that wallet and you do all that stuff. You do that, and then you press submit, and boom, you're in. So that is a super basic and kind of like simplified explanation of Uniswap there. Let me try to explain those SafeMoon. Let me just act like I'm about to buy some SafeMoon here for you. So here's where you want to go. you want to go to Pancake Swap. I'm going to give you the direct link here. Where's it at? Right here. All right, here's what you want to do. If you want to buy SafeMoon, you want to click that link, and you want to go, and this is what you're going to see. You're going to see the exchange part of Pancake Swap here. And you're going to need BNB. So there's a whole fucking process to this one, actually. You might have to do this on your phone, probably, depending on the way that this happens. But you'll have BNB. You want to have BNB, which is another. There's a lot of shit to this, actually. This gets kind of convoluted. But you'll need to have BNB, and then let's go down here and let's do. There we go. I'm pretty sure that's got to be it, right? Yeah, tells you this stuff because this is slippage and stuff like that, like liquidity of these different lower end currencies. It's kind of tough. But is that the right one? SafeMoon, where are we at? Yeah. If you're ever concerned here, go find the real one and copy the contract address and add it that way. Which that's probably kind of confusing. Yeah, it's in there. Okay, it's fine. Just search SafeMoon. It's the right one. All right, so you're on Pancake Swap. And what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to have some BNB, like some BNB smart chain thing, which we'll figure out how to get that. And you're going to convert it to SafeMoon. So at the end of the day here, when we're all ready to go, you're going to convert like however much of this you have to SafeMoon, right? This is one way. You could do the gate thing too. That might be a little more straightforward. I've never used it though. I've done this. So what you need to do is you need to connect a wallet. And this is where the annoying part comes in, because you got to go make one of these wallets. Okay? So you got to download MetaMask, or you got to download Trust Wallet, or you got to download, Math Wallet, whatever the fuck. And you have to make a wallet, and you have to get some BNB. You might be able to buy BNB through one of the wallets, perhaps. But the way that I've done this in the past is I've gone and I've made a Binance US account. Okay. So a Binance US account is, if you're in the United States, you need to use Binance US. If you're not in the United States, I think you can just use the regular Binance, which is better. So good for you. But when I go and I open up Binance US, then I'm able to buy this BNB token. And I'll tell you exactly how I've done this in the past. Like if I wanted to get SafeMoon right now, I downloaded Trust Wallet on my phone. So I'll drop the links because I can't fully do it, obviously, because I have it and my phone's over there and I can't do all this. But I will drop the links for you. Here's what you do. You would go to Trust Wallet, download that on your phone. It's gonna walk you through it. It's pretty straightforward. Download Trust Wallet. Then you have what's like a hot wallet or a software wallet on your phone that you could use to store Bitcoin or whatever. You wouldn't even need a hardware wallet really. You could just put the shit on there if you wanted to, and then it's still like under your control more than it would be on Coinbase or whatever. But to continue the SafeMoon example, get Trust Wallet. Once you have Trust Wallet and you have that all set up, you have your seed phrase saved and written down on a piece of paper and everything like that, and you go through that step, you're going to have something that looks like this right here, like on the screen here, like where you can see the this little phone here, and this is what it looks like. So you have Bitcoin, you'll have you won't have anything in there, but there'll be some things or whatever. Then you're going to click on this button down here that says D apps. Okay. And it's in one of those little apps that come up in that is going to be Pancake Swap. And then when you go on Pancake Swap on your phone, you'll be able to link up to Pancake Swap to the wallet. Like we can't really do here. We'd click connect, but we don't have Trust Wallet on here. Like it's not going to work. So that's what you want to do. There's another way to do it. I mean, I use Trust Wallet. Like I said, you use MetaMask, you use other shit, but that's one way to do it. Now, the only other thing here is that you need to somehow get this Binance Coin. I think you could probably buy it you might be able to buy it directly through here. But if you don't buy it through there, the other thing you're going to have to do, and you're going to want to do, is you want to go to, where is this shit? Resources. You're going to want to go to this other thing, this other exchange. This is why people don't get into this though sometimes, is because like there's a lot of shit. You're going to want to go to Binance US, and you're going to create an account there. And then that is literally, or Binance, or the main Binance if you have that, like I said, if you're not in the US. But if you're in the US, then use that. And you're going to want to create an account there, and you're going to buy some BNB on there, just like you would on Coinbase, but it's just different exchange, different thing. Buy the BNB on there. Send that BNB to your Trust wallet that you have. I think you actually have to convert it to the BSC, which is like the Binance Coin thing, just like a different thing. It says it in there. It says like convert. And then go into the D apps, Pancake Swap, connect the wallet, swap to SafeMoon. That's a lot of shit, okay? Now, I apologize that I can't really show that, but those are the steps. I've done it before, I just haven't done it with SafeMoon. But here's the thing, though. The more that I think about that, the more that I'm explaining all of that out like that, I think there's a low likelihood that all these fucking people that bought SafeMoon actually did all that. So, if we go back to this, you might, if you're going to buy SafeMoon, you might actually just be able to go on to, maybe we should stick to BTC. I mean, personally, long term, like it's not a bad hold. Like, I mean, BTC is going to, I think it's just going to continue to go up. Everybody thinks it's going to continue to go up. The hard part about that is, I'm going to give you, let me finish this thought about the SafeMoon, then I'll continue. Maybe people have just bought on Gate.io. Honestly, if you just want to make a Gate.io account, I'm sure it's going to be the same thing as like a Coinbase account. It looks like it's, confidence is high and people are buying on there. So that's honestly probably what people are doing, because the other thing is just too many fucking steps for people that don't know, I don't know. The only thing you might have to do there is if it's USDT, maybe you have to have Tether, which you can get that on SafeMoon, or you can get, I'm sure you can get that on Gate. Maybe you can't, but regardless, you can definitely get this USDT on Coinbase and then throw it over there. I honestly don't know. Honestly, though, that is another question, though, that you might be able to get right off of YouTube, because everybody's trying to buy SafeMoon, so this probably somebody has like a very simple way to do it. What was I going to say? The thing sticking to BTC. I'll give you this. This is the hardest thing, I think, that happens with people, is once you start getting into crypto, you're like, okay, cool, Bitcoin, great, I have some Bitcoin. But like, Bitcoin doesn't go up a lot, obviously. It's already been up. The big run here recently, like there's probably going to be more, obviously, over time. But like, we've all missed a big run here if we weren't in it like over the latter half of 2020. So the shitty part about cryptocurrency is that people get into it and they see like, these big market cap ones, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and whatever, like they're moving, but they're not moving a ton. Then you see shit like SafeMoon that, like, I don't even know how many X's it'll do in a short amount of time. And you're like, and you get FOMO and you're like, fuck, I need to go in and get that. But then maybe it like crashes as soon as you get in there. So the trouble with all that is generally the sentiment is buying into green candlesticks is not a good thing. Meaning that if something has already gone up a lot, it's probably going to come down at some point, and maybe you should just wait. But I don't know. I'm not really one to do a lot of technical analysis and understand all that. But that's just kind of the 2 cents there. I would honestly say, if I was going to plan out knowing what I know, I would definitely get some Bitcoin. Most people say to have 50% in Bitcoin, roughly. Some people don't, though. Some people don't like Bitcoin. Obviously Ethereum, it's had a good run here today, past couple days, I guess. Just going through these top 10, like Dogecoin, like maybe it'll get to a fucking dollar, but there's no reason it should, because it's completely worthless other than just like meme status. But again, people are making money. So Cardano and Polkadot, I think, are pretty good. They're basically Ethereum rivals, potentially Ethereum killers, because they have smart contracts. That's their roadmap. Uni Swap, I don't know. It's got that exchange, so that's kind of big for it. Litecoin, I don't even understand Litecoin. People say that it's good. People say that it's bad. I don't get it. Don't ever do Bitcoin Cash. In my opinion, it's probably not a good idea. It was just forked a while ago. It's not. If you're gonna just buy Bitcoin, I don't know what to tell you. VeChain, I think, is legit. I can't remember. I got in VeChain pretty early. It's legit. Look into that. Here's the thing that I'm saying is there's a lot of places that you can put your money in, relatively easy to access, and like bigger market caps before you really need to run into the small stuff. Just because it's way more volatile. I mean, you might lose money. It's harder to get. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just saying that's kind of like my perspective. But yeah, because I've definitely fucked around with small stuff. Like I have a couple. I have Argon and I have Mist and Happy Coin or some shit, and I've just lost money on that stuff. So, but a lot of people have made money. So, do with that information what you wish. But I think that's pretty much it. That is a pretty good rundown of everything that I have kind of done so far. Not like in its entirety as far as crypto goes, but that's like a good basic to start with. And just do your own research. If you have any questions about a certain coin, obviously hit me up too. I'll do my best to answer, but there's a lot of good stuff out there. I'm going to do this because I think this is important. Because my buddy has helped me a lot here. I'm gonna drop this link in the chat here. That is the Viva La Coin channel with my buddy Joe. He's put out a ton of great content on a lot of different cryptos, specifically market news, all that sort of stuff. Huge there. I'm not a crypto expert. I'm not gonna turn into like crypto channel. Like I don't know a lot of shit about crypto. I just know what I've been. What I've kind of gone through and what I've been so lucky to learn from other people. But what I will do here as I start to sign off is I will drop some more links of people that I have learned from, because I think that's always important. I'm always happy to share the knowledge and especially the people don't do this enough. People don't say where they get their information enough. Fuck, I don't care where I got my information. I got it from Viva La Coin. I got it from Journey Crypto. I get some from Lark Davis here. I get some from Coin Bureau. Oh dear, didn't mean to do that. There we go. Coin Bureau, and then I want to do one more here because he's pretty good. And that is Benjamin Cohen. Very good, like technical analysis. He's always in the charts. So those are some examples, right? I'm not affiliated with any of those guys. I know Joe personally, but other than the other guys, they don't know who the fuck I am. I've watched some of their content. I've probably benefited from some of it. I appreciate it, so I want to pass it on. That's it. Listen, I greatly appreciate every single one of you that strolled through here, asked questions. Greatly appreciated. I had a great time. This was educational for me, helpful for me to wrap my head around more stuff. I always like to talk about it. Like I said, if you have any questions, feel free to try to hit me up. I will, Instagram, markjosemancy.com, links and things. Appreciate it. But great stream as always. Thank you so much. Thank you guys. Greatly appreciate it. Like I said, but yeah, that's it. If you have any questions, like I said, hit me up. Hit up the guys that I dropped in there. Make sure you subscribe. Check those out. Thank you. Courses, yeah, courses are coming along. Honestly, none of them are really done right now because I'm building them as I'm doing things like this, like, you know, whether it's business consultations or all this sort of stuff. I'm just gathering more like information and trying to build the best thing that I can, because I have realized that the hardest part about this is like, this is great, right? I could show somebody this, but the worst part, in my opinion, about helping somebody is like, when I help somebody, it's fantastic. Like, I love helping like one person get their business going, but I know that there's so many other people out there that I could help. So if I just did like, you know, simply like back to back business consultations or finance, you know, like education things or whatever, just one-on-one, then the scale is just so small. Like, but if I did more things that were packed into like one course or live stream, you know, shows or something like that, then I know that it's going to affect more people, hopefully. And, you know, I'll still be able to, you know, take questions and do personal, you know, one-to-one stuff. But, yeah, that's just kind of my thoughts. So I'm trying to get more bulk content out there for people, but also still really helps. I don't want to generalize it too much. So that's where we're at. But with that, I got to go to sleep now. So thank you guys again. Really appreciate it. Any questions, let me know. Other than that, check out the content on these other guys. Great stuff. Make sure you subscribe to them. And that's all I got. So we'll be back at some point, probably soon, because I didn't actually go over the stuff that I was supposed to go over with the days of the week and all that sort of stuff. The recap, I like to document that. So maybe tomorrow, maybe the next day. I don't know, maybe 2 weeks from now. I have no idea, honestly. I don't have a schedule for this. I need to figure one out, but that's it. Appreciate it, guys. As always, thank you so much. I'll talk to you later. See ya.